Hi, I'm Connie Brown. I'm the owner of the Brown Cow Ice Cream Parlor in Forest Park. We're an old-fashioned soda fountain where we've been serving up happiness since 2004. In honor of Chocolate Cake Day on January 27th, we're having this month's Brown Cow Ice Cream Parlor Make It at Home competition, a chocolate ice cream cake. In here, you will have one section that's packaged, and hopefully that's in your freezer. If not, let's get it in there right now. This is your cake, your chocolate cake, and your ice cream. So we have already gone through and made our homemade dark chocolate cake rounds, and we've packed the chocolate ice cream into the cake pan for you. This is probably a good 4-hour process that we're skipping for you so that you can get straight to the decorating. Also in here packaged is a number of ingredients that need to go into the refrigerator. And that is our whipped cream frosting, which we're gonna make together, as well as our homemade chocolate ganache. The ganache itself also is a good 2-hour process, so we saved you some time there as well. Also in here are the instructions on how to participate in this month's competition. You're gonna take a quick video of you making the ice cream cake or the final product masterpiece, and you're gonna send that to us either via social media or email so that we can go through them, decide who the finalists are, and then post those online on here on YouTube for everybody to see and vote. All the videos need to be into us by January 20th, and we will post those for everybody to vote on the 22nd, and the winner will be announced on National Chocolate Cake Day, January 27th. The winner receives a $50 gift card to the Brown Cow Ice Cream Parlor. And I want to give a quick shout out to Josh, who was our December winner of our gingerbread competition. He made an awesome gingerbread house. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because then you can keep track of all the other events that we have coming up in the coming months, especially next month. February is Valentine's Day. I have everything out of the box for you. Now I'm gonna go through what ingredients are in there, and then we're gonna assemble an ice cream cake, and I'm gonna show you how to frost it using the ingredients that we do have. So what we have is 2 cups of the whipped cream frosting. We're gonna add 1 cup of water to that in order to make the frosting. This has been in the freezer this whole time, and that is our chocolate ganache cake and our chocolate ice cream, which is nice and frozen. So we're gonna assemble that, put it into the freezer, and then make our whipped cream frosting. We also have a bunch of different toppings: M&Ms, sprinkles. We have our homemade brownies, chocolate ganache brownies. You also have some homemade chocolate ganache in there as well, and I'm going to show you how to use that. There's a couple different ways you can use that. You are also going to need a spatula and a butter knife. If you have an offset spatula, something to frost a cake with like this, that would be great. And even better, if you have a scraper, a fantastic tool. So if you don't have one of these at home, highly recommend it. It's great for scraping off, cutting dough, perfect for keeping the lines upright and straight on your ice cream cake. Here's what I would recommend is that you use an 8-inch pan. By the time you finish frosting a 6-inch ice cream cake, it becomes an 8-inch. So you're going to line your cake pan with saran wrap, and then you're gonna take the ice cream and pack it in there. And you're gonna wanna freeze that for a good day. It's gotta be nice and solid. When you have your cake, I've already cut it for you. So we have a kind of a bumpy side and the flat side. The flat side was at the bottom when we baked it. That bottom is now gonna become your top. So we're gonna keep that aside because we're gonna put the bottom on first. And then you have your ice cream. Go ahead and unwrap it. So we're gonna just match up the bottom and the ice cream just like this. Try to get as lined up as you possibly can, and you're gonna put the lid on so it's kind of like a sandwich. I wanna squish that together just like this. It's okay, get gooey. And just want to make sure it's nice and centered. So I'm going to put that into the freezer. Now we're going to move on to the frosting while that's firming up in the freezer. You're going to want to leave that back in the freezer for a good half hour or so just to reset. We're going to add the 2 cups of whipped cream frosting right here. So you have the 2 cups of the whipped cream frosting and the water. Now this is a non-dairy soy-based whipped cream frosting. And why that's important is because it freezes really, really well. If you are doing this at home, what I recommend is not a whipped cream frosting. There's too much water content in it, and with the dairy and the water, it's just gonna ice over. So the best frosting to use is a buttercream frosting. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this. And if you guys wanted to make it into a color, you can go ahead and do that at this point. I would like you to mix that fully first, and then you can go ahead and add in any of your colors that you want. I'm gonna go ahead and frost in white just for the ease of it. If you would like to add colors later, take a little bit of it out and put them into some plastic cups. So what I had done is I took some of this whipped cream frosting and I put it in here, and then I mixed together the colors so that I can use them later however I want, whether I want to frost with them or I can put them into baggies. So I already started kind of like with a purple, but I would like it a little bit more pink, and I'm going to take some out just like this and put it right into my cup like that. And I'm going to add some food coloring to it. One of the ones that I have in here is red, and the red, when you mix it with this white frosting, it turns pink. If you are making a buttercream frosting at home, your red will get a little bit redder. This one I want to make pink. It's my daughter's birthday on the 21st, so maybe I'll throw this into the freezer. All right, I'm gonna mix that around. It's like a pinkish purple. So to fill your piping bag, here's the trick. It just came like this, and we're gonna fold it over our hand. We're gonna cup just like this, like with your hand. And we're gonna cup your hand, and we're gonna fold half of it all the way over. That way we don't get a bunch of stuff all over the outside. And I'm going to fill this piping bag using a spatula. You have enough whipped cream frosting in here to frost this cake as well. I pulled out, while this was mixing, I pulled out a stand to decorate on, which makes it a little easier so I don't have to bend over so much. So once we have the frosting in there, like this, you're gonna use your four fingers and your thumb to kind of just push it down, just like this, all the way down to the bottom. And then you're gonna use your scissors to cut. Now remember that you can cut it bigger, but you can't make it smaller again. So start small. If you have tips at home, you would want to put your tip in first, like a decorating tip, and then put your whipped cream frosting in. But I'm going to show you how to decorate without using a tip. So I'm going to cut this on an angle. It's going to give me a little bit more options when I cut it on an angle. So you can frost one of two ways. If you have a butter knife, I want you to use the straight edge of the butter knife because it's going to be nice and flat. If you use the other side, it's going to be a little rigidy and hard to get a really flat surface. You want to get a cup of water that you can use for scraping, and water is going to be your friend for sure. Or if you have an offset spatula, again, this is the time to use it. I can either pipe this on like this. I start with the sides, and the reason why you start with the sides of an ice cream cake is because you want to lock that cold in as fast as you can and keep it insulated. And then once you get all the way around, you're gonna go put a bunch of it right there on top. I'm gonna use my offset spatula, and I'm gonna come around, and all I'm doing is like literally going side to side like this, like I'm turning it just a little bit, if you guys can see that there. And I'm pushing it in, and I'm trying to keep it flat. If you keep your knife or your spatula straight onto the bottom of the board, it's gonna be easier to keep that flat than if you're trying to do this. If it does get melty, it's okay. It's ice cream. Just throw it back into the freezer. You're gonna wanna make sure that it's back in that freezer for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and be patient. Let it freeze back up and then start again. All right, I'm spreading the top, and I want it to just flop over. You see how it's flopped over? And the reason is because when I come back around like this, I'm creating a seal right there at that corner. Here is where it's super awesome if you do have one of these just like this, and it will make it super straight. I'm just gonna go on a light angle and go all the way around. I normally will do this at from our bakery at the Brown Cow, but we're at home. So here's my dog Peg. She really likes chocolate ice cream cake. I had to bribe my dog out of there. Chocolate's not good for dogs. Here's where water is your friend. You're going to dip this right here in the water, just like this. You also have in here some homemade chocolate ganache. Now you could use this in the middle of your layers between the ice cream and the cake, or you can heat it up, which I'm going to do, and drizzle it around the top. You could also use it to write on the top of your cake. So I'm just going to put this in the microwave for 10 seconds. You're going to use this 10 seconds at a time because you don't want to get it too hot. It will melt the bag that it's in. You're going to go ahead and just snip a tiny section here. Again, you can always make it bigger, but it's harder to make it small. So I'm going to snip off a tiny little bit here, and I'm going to use this to drizzle. All right, so here's the moment of truth of what you want to do on the top. You can use Oreos on the top. You can use some of the brownies that we gave you. We have M&M sprinkles. You can use any of the colors that we created. I'm just going to show you how you can use this to dollop the top and keep it nice and cute without using a tip. But we're just going to make like a little circle, like I'm making like a round and round and round. And at the bottom, here's what I'm going to do. I am literally just squeezing and releasing. Squeeze, release. Okay, I made a couple of colors, remember? So now I'm going to doctor this one up a little bit. Cassidy is my 14-year-old. She'll be 14 this month. Her favorite color is purple. And then I'm going to add some chocolate chips because she loves chocolate. All right, so I'm going to call it done-ish, and I want to write on it. So how do we write on it? So you can use the whipped cream frosting in any color or the chocolate ganache in order to write with. Either one is going to turn out super cute. I'm going to show you how to do this one just in case. So you're going to add a little bit of water to it. And the reason why you want a little bit of water is because you want to be able to push that through the little tiny hole of the piping bag a little easier. I'm going to use the other side of that same Ziploc bag, and now I'm going to take that kind of thinned out pinkish purple that we made earlier together, and I'm going to put it into that other corner. And using, like we did with the other one, use your finger and your thumb, and you're going to push that into the corner, give it a twist, and then I'm going to cut a little hole right here, and I'm going to write happy birthday. Sometimes it's easier to write in cursive than it is to print because you don't have to ever pick up for it. So you're going to just give it a quick little squeeze, and if I don't pick up, it'll make things a little bit easier. At the store, we usually use the fudge. It's much easier to write with this chocolate ganache than it is with the whipped cream frosting. So I just wanted to show you the more difficult one. All right, that's pretty much how you make an chocolate ice cream cake. I look forward to what you guys come up with. Please be creative. Use as many colors as you want. If you want to change the shape of it, I don't care. Go ahead and change the shape of it. But just use the ingredients that we gave you, with the exception of maybe some food coloring. You can change the colors, and I'm sure they're going to be amazing. Take some video of what you're doing. I need less than a minute worth of your creation and what makes it spectacular, and then follow the guidelines that came in your box and also in the links below on how to submit that to us. Then look for our favorites. We're going to post those on the 22nd, and then the winners will be announced on the 27th, which is National Chocolate Cake Day. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for participating.